Welcome guys, another episode of the Strong Forecast. Really happy how it's coming along, meeting new people and sharing their experiences to you has been an amazing opportunity, and I'm really fortunate for this. And for this episode we have Justine, Blanc, and you grew up in France?
Yeah, I'm from France. I'm from the Alps, actually. A ski resort called Les Arcs. This is where I grew up, and I skied since I'm two, probably two.
Sweet. And yeah, we're gonna talk about a little bit how you became a snowboard instructor, snowboard and ski instructor, and now you're also getting into surfing. So yeah, we're gonna talk about a few of those contrasts, but also similarities in both sports, I guess. And yeah, obviously how you came from the mountains to the ocean, and where you grew up. So we could start from there.
Yeah. So yeah, grew up in the mountains. I ski. I don't remember when I start skiing, so I ski since quite a long time, obviously. I'm coming from a skier family. My dad and my dad's sister were both doing speed skiing, you know, like where you go just straight and go as fast as you can. So both of them went above, if not more than 200 kilometers by hour. Both of them hold the world record for a bit. So yeah, this is my dad's side, and one of my uncle is also Olympic champion. He won the downhill in racing in Nagano in '98. So, long story short, I grew up skiing. So yeah, it was alpine skiing at first. Well, it was the '90s. You only had one option if you wanted to ski. You had to do alpine skiing. So basically, blue gate, red gate. Go in between of them. It was a lot of fun, super hard. I'm actually like freaking out sometimes when I see all these professional athletes and they barely train or barely surf, or you know, like, and I'm like, yo, when I was 12, I was working out and training 6 days a week, if not 7 days a week, you know, depending the thing. So I'm like, oh, so cool to be a surfer. You don't have to wake up every morning to train. That's so great. Especially, I'm talking big wave surfing because I know nothing about like the QS and all the stuff. But yeah. So yeah, I did that. Grew up doing that until I was 17. I lost the interest. I was not passionate about alpine skiing. I was passionate about powder and off-piste and exploring the mountain. So I kind of gave up the alpine world with a good excuse. I hurt my knee, so I was like, oh, this is a really good exit, you know, opportunity. So I exit, and I discovered the big mountain, and I started to snowboard also almost at the same time, because with the ski thing, they didn't really want us to do snowboard. Not to hurt ourselves, not to injure ourselves. So I kind of discovered snowboarding late, but I loved it, and I didn't want to be a ski or snowboard instructor. But my dad told me you should do it because it's quite good, like good pocket money. So I kind of did it because my dad forced me to, and I never did anything else but doing that ever since. So thank you, Daddy. And I also started to work as a judge and then an advisor on the Freeride World Tour, which is basically the same thing as WSL.
Yeah, the WSL.
So yeah.
That's amazing, and obviously being close to the mountain and getting to explore the mountain, not only by foot, but also skiing, and then later on getting into snowboarding. I feel like it's probably one of the most like the only sport where you can like be so connected to nature, and obviously in the ocean it's moving and conditions are changing, but also you have that in snowboarding where the snow can start to go into avalanche, and I mean I guess it's an extreme sport, would you say?
Yeah, definitely. So obviously there is like 100 way of skiing and snowboarding. There's 100 way of surfing, and my gig is like kind of like the serious shit, if I may. I'm passionate about like virgin, steep, powdery mountain. This is what I skied and snowboard for. I like going on the slope, especially like with Cody that starts snowboarding literally like in 2020 when we met. It's a lot of fun bringing him his son, but for me, I'll never wake up one morning and say, okay, I'll go for 2 or 3 slope. I did that for 30 odd years. So no, I'm like, I'll wake up and I'll go in the mountain with my dad. My dad is really, really good off-piste skier. And he is way fitter than me if you have to put the skin on, ski tour or split board. So I'm basically running after my dad all the way up. And then I pressurize him on the way down. So that works.
Sweet. So it's kind of the balance, no? I guess when your parents at the start, they push for you in many ways, not only in their hobbies, but also to make some pocket money, grow up, evolve, and trying to help you, guide you, find your way and your passion. And it's good that you had that balance, no pushing for each other.
It's quite funny because my dad is had never been really off-piste before I start going off-piste, which is, we are talking probably 2007 or 2008, something like this. My dad always had been on slopes, and one day I'm like, yo, I'm buying big skis, I'm buying like the same thing as a pool vest for skiing, ABS. Which is basically something you can pull, and you have 2 balloons that inflate in case you get caught in an avalanche. And I'm buying this beeper, DVA, the thing we put on, and you can research, even being found, no matter, like, depending where you are, if you are under the avalanche or above it. And I think I bought my first pair, or I got my first pair, doesn't matter, don't remember. Of ski and all the kit, and probably 3 weeks after my dad had this exact same kit, and he was like, okay, when do we go? And now I'm not as much as in the mountain as I used to be, because I was there all the time, like before in the winter. So my dad keep ringing my mates and basically go skiing with my 30 years old mates, and he's 60 something now, so he's like the older bro of the pack. It's quite funny.
That's cool. That's really amazing. Like how even with the time, and obviously your body starts to get more, tired more easily, and some muscles like start to get a bit like not so strong, and he's still pushing. Is your whole family always been connected to the mountains? And
well, my dad and my auntie had been super passionate about it. My uncle also, but overall we are quite a big family, but only a few are really connected to. And talking about my dad, this guy is the person that broke the more bones you will ever met. I can do a quick list, but like ankle, knees 4 times, the femur twice, hips 1 time, broke all his ribs, doesn't have, like, missing 1 or 2 organs, doesn't have a shoulder functional anymore, broke his neck, broke his nose multiple times, and some other stuff. This is my dad, right?
A warrior.
This dude is always broken. But he does tons of things, right? He's skiing, when he's not skiing. He did the funniest thing ever. At 60 years old, he was like, okay, I stopped biking because it's too hard, so no, I'm going to try a sport. Like, not try, because he used to do it before, but I'm going to buy a motorbike but not an enduro. You know, the one to jump from rocks to rocks. What do you call that? The one that doesn't have saddle. I don't know. Trail.
Trail bike. No.
Yeah, you know, like the motorbike trail. Yeah, trial. We call it moto trial. So this is what he did for his 60th birthday. I'm gonna buy a trial because it's safer than enduro. I'm like, yeah, right, mate. It's so safe to jump from rock to rocks. Yeah, this is my dad.
And always coming up with new things, I guess. You have to mix it up. And yeah, you probably respected him for just the way of thinking. Obviously, not many people have that mindfulness to go out of the box and like not just carry on doing the same thing for the rest of their life, no?
I just think the most important is resilience. If you want to do, if you want to do any of these sports, whether it's skiing, snowboarding, surfing, big wave surfing, motorbiking, whatever, cycling, you're gonna get injured. In some of the sports, you're gonna lose friends, and if you can't get over that, well, fuck, mate, stay in the couch. You know, like you're gonna get injured. I'm not being funny. It's ridiculous how powerful are the waves just out there, and barely anyone get injured. I can't make my head around it. Where in ski you get injured all the time. You know, like you do LCA. Like all of my friends, except from me, I already got a surgery for the LCA. You know, it's like you're gonna get injured. So yeah, if you're not resilient, if you're not okay, I'm out for 6 months, I'm gonna do something else, or just I'm gonna relax and enjoy things I don't usually enjoy, like watching Netflix or just like connecting with your family, because you know, when you're so busy doing all these things, when do you have time to see your friends and your family that don't do the same thing? Never.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's just about, you know,
I guess also like resilient, not only physically but also mentally. No, it's really tough to put your body, carry on putting your body through these kind of like risky situations, experiences, when you have to keep on fighting, no, whatever it is, even if it's not a sport, you can still have injuries, and it's hard to be resilient, no, and I guess. And yeah, it's a good point that you brought up, because many things can happen, like in any situation, very fast, and you probably have had definitely experiences that have been like risky, and definitely the mountains is unexpected as well, like the ocean. And yeah, did you have any experiences that you feel like you were on the edge?
Yeah, I had a couple close one, but I always came out like smooth and easy, except for that one time. Overall, my skiing and snowboarding like experience, I saw some avalanches. I went on some avalanches to rescue people. I had been caught once, but it was like not ridiculously small, but it was not like I was not scared for my life, because I was like, it's not that big. It's not nice to be carried, like, you know, you're not like. And I did this stupid. I was skiing that day. Did this stupid thing where, when you ski off piste, you always remove your strap from your little poles. But I kind of kept it because it was brand new poles and I didn't want to lose one. But then my two poles got tangled, so I was literally like tangled like this, couldn't do anything, and just like being like navigating in the thing. And then my mate was just behind, and he just literally just saved me. But I was not even underneath. I was just like, you know, when your mates put you in the stand and like it's so funny, but you're tight. This is what I was. So I had been super lucky skiing and snowboarding. I never had been involved myself in a big avalanche or anything like this. But definitely my biggest accident happened in July 2020. I was climbing La Dent du Géant, which I could translate with the giant tooth. It's in the Mont Blanc area on the border of France and Italy. And I was with Christophe Henry. A lot of the ski world know Christophe as Stuff. Was a professional steep skier, amazing skier, and he passed away 1 month ago or so in Chile. And we were climbing, just like walking basically, with crampons and axes, and we were just having a good time. This is not a technical route. I'm not really technical in summer climbing. It's not really my thing. So we're just going up there to like breathe fresh air, a bit of luck finding some crystals, or just having a good time. And I casually look up the mountain, and I saw rocks falling, and it was a bit like today's weather. So it was a bit foggy at the top of the mountain, so it wasn't making any noise, as if like. I don't know, it was so weird. So it was surreal, because I was looking up, was seeing rocks the size of cars, like small cars, fridge, this kind, we are talking this kind of size, not little like tennis ball or something. But it doesn't make any noise. And I vividly remember, Tuff is like probably, 10 meter or 15 meter away from me on the other side of the rope. And the only noise I can make is like, like I couldn't even like say something, like look up or tough or careful, or I was like, and well, goes really fast. I'm like pointing at, he's kind of looked behind thinking I'm having, I don't know, a stroke or something. I don't know, it was like, this was so weird, you were freezing. And I pointed up, he saw it, and just like the next second, because I'm talking as if it took 5 minutes, but it was not. It was like literally the next second, I'm hiding behind a rock. He's probably doing the same, but it's like survival thing. I'm like, okay, my only chance. I put my axe, boom, and I do like this, and I feel one rock like in my helmet. My helmet's got a massive scratch, and I'm like, okay, this is just the first like kind of, because it was dozens of rocks. And I'm like, fuck, maybe it's fine, because it's all quiet. And when I'm like kind of relaxing a little bit, I can feel something pull me backward so hard, and I don't understand what it is. It pulls me, and basically I did like, bam, and I impacted the mountain so hard, I could feel my hips broke. Like instantly, I'm like, this is broken. Like there's no way, broken. And I'm kind of hanging on the rope. And I'm like, this is not cool. And I got a one in the back, and I got like, compressed against the mountain again. I'm like, now my back's broken, 100%. And I was hanging on the rope, and I like scared to try to move my toes. Like, did I just lose my legs, And I'm like, okay, maybe the next one's gonna kill me. It's gonna be fine, because I don't want to be in a wheelchair. Like this is like. I was thinking about that, really, it's not really funny, but... And it goes all quiet, and I'm like, my toes are moving, cool. But and then the next second, I'm like, hang on, I'm hanging on a rope, how come? And I look up, and you literally have like Tuff, which is like, Tuff is like, was 6 foot something, so it's quite tall, big guy, holding me like this, like, just like, waiting for me to kind of like, and he was yelling, but I couldn't hear. I was like, yo, like do something. He didn't know if I was like, because it was so steep behind, and then it ended up on like a big cliff. So I was like, basically, yo, do something, because I'm holding you like that. So I'm like, okay. And I, went back on land. I realized my right leg was not working. I was like, oh, this is not good, And realized that his phone was no more battery, and I had my phone just there, and I'm like, my phone is completely cracked, like there's no way. Like took it's like completely like as new. I'm like, yo. So we called the emergency. In France the rescue is free, and it's the army and police that are trying to do it. And we are calling them.
I guess you're pretty far out at this point as well.
Let's say to walk back to a gondola or just a shelter, we're talking 2 hours away. So yeah, the quickest way is an helicopter, and the PGHM are amazing. They are super well trained, especially in the Mont Blanc area. It happens every day. You know, like I'm telling about my story, but fuck, so many people got so gnarly story about that. And yeah, we're calling, and they're like, yes, the problem is it's super windy in the valley. Like there's no wind at the top of the mountain, but in the valley, it's quite narrow, sometimes there's some breeze.
Yeah.
And depending where you are, there's some acceleration, and like so windy we can't take off with the heli. I'm like, oh, this is a bummer. And like there is already an accident on another spot, so it will take 4 hours for our guys to come with like a stretcher and all the stuff. And I'm like, this is not good, is it? And it's like, but okay, keep your phone on, don't use your battery, we'll keep you updated. I'm like, yeah, right. And it's like, what's your plan? I'm like, well, I'm gonna try to walk down. It's like, but it seems quite serious. I'm like, yeah, but I'm gonna freeze and I'm gonna die, you know, if I stay there. So we're gonna try to do that. We kind of start walking down, and it's a bit weird, like, 'cause I don't really remember feeling pain, but I did remember that I was like, this, you know, like every step, everything was kind of like, will have consequences, right? And I don't know, half an hour later, maybe? I have no idea. Maybe 10 minutes, maybe half an hour, I have no idea. A call come, and I'm like, oh God, it must be the wine delivery or something, because I had a bar at this time. I'm like, oh, really, I don't want to talk to this guy. So I'm like, kind of keep on walking down, call again. I'm like, yeah, what? You know, and I thought it's the guy that delivers the wine or the beer or whatever for my bar, but know exactly where is the freaking place to deliver and all the stuff. And I'm so pissed off. And it's like, oh yeah, it's Italy. We have a little window to fly our heli because it's less windy on our side. So where are you? Do you want to be rescued? I'm like, oh heck yeah, yes please. Do that.
Wow.
So yeah, this is how I got airlifted. We got airlifted, but it was a bit gnarly because after this 10, 20, half an hour, whatever time, it started to be windy also at the top. So like there's no stretcher, there's nothing. So basically a guy just swinged down, and hooked my harness, and I'm like, my back's broken, my hip's broken. And it's like, yeah, but I know, but we don't have choice. I'm like, okay, this is not going to go. It's the first pain I really felt when they airlifted me. They airlifted it, my friend, and it was so, that's not funny, but I was in the heli, I was like, hang on, the key of my cars are in the shelter. The shelter's at the top of the mountain. We are going at the bottom of the mountain in the heli. It's going to be a problem, is it? So I was like, the guy was like, yeah, all right. And like, I was super pale, and I didn't realize. I was like, well, but I forgot my car key up there. Can you drop my friend, you know, like on the way at the shelter or something? And they're like, you're serious? I'm like, yeah, how is he going to go back if he doesn't have the car?
No way.
So they drop him, and then they bring me to the hospital, and then they did a full body scan. I was not so good. Two vertebrae broken, hips broken in 2 pieces. But well, I was walking, no surgery, so lucky, everything was quite aligned. It was COVID, so it was quite an experience to be in the hospital during COVID. I was in Italy, it was a bit weird. I stayed there a couple days, maybe more, 3 days, 4 days. And then I kind of had to go to be bring down in France. So this is what I did. First diagnosis was like, you're gonna have to lay down for 55 days. I was like, what? And I was like, what do you mean? like fully lying down, like can't stand up. I'm like, but how am I gonna wash my hair? I was like, there's no washing your hair. I'm like, yo, I just spent 3 days in the mountain, I stink. I need a shower. And so I was like, yeah, but in 55 days. I was like, oh, this is not going to be cool. So I was in France and I was like semi-depressed about it, not fully depressed about it. I was like, 55 days, so long? Have you been like in a bed for more than like 4 or 5 days?
Definitely
Happened
not.
already to me, happened already once, 21 days or so. It was not fun. I was like, oh, this is like double diamonds. It's a nightmare. COVID, nobody can come and see you at the hospital. You're like on your own, looking at the wall all day long, being like, my hair really dirty, I stink, I really want to shower. 54 days more. It was a nightmare. And one of the doctors, surgeon, I don't know what to say, like specialists, hip and back specialist, came to the bedroom, and he was like, well, doesn't go well, the lying in the bed thing for you, does it? I'm like, no, not really, I'm a bit depressed. I am so depressed, and I don't know how I'm going to do it. It's like, yeah, well, we kind of get the idea that you're not really good, like lying down, so we're going to try something. Like, if you promise me, I'm like, yeah, I promise. I was like, if you promise me you don't now, we'll try to put you in a wheelchair, and you'll be in a wheelchair for 3 months or so. And I was like, yes, please. It's like, it comes with condition. I'm like, yeah, whatever. So this is how I ended up. Like, I could stand up, but I was using, this thing like the old person, with 4 foot.
The support.
So this is, I was allowed to do that, like 5 minutes a day, all day long in my wheelchair. My bathroom became like an extension of hospital, like anything, like a special thing for the toilet, like kind of seat that was pivoting me in the bath. That was so gnarly, man. Still have all this thing. Cost me hundreds of euros. If I made it to 90, I'm already like set up.
No way.
And after I did like this good old summer in a wheelchair, it was still COVID when I needed a recovery, and I needed some swimming pool action to kind of relearn how to walk properly, because I was walking with crutches after 2 months and a half, because it was doing really well, and all the physio were kind of closed at home. The swimming pool were kind of closed because of COVID, so I was like, well, I'm gonna find a swimming pool. And my uncle and my auntie that used to live down the road 20 minutes away from Nazare had a really big swimming pool, and they said, okay, let's go, come here. And
you came over to Portugal.
Yeah, and I never left ever since. I'm there.
Beautiful. That's pretty like on the edge, I guess, of in many ways. You had to survive. You couldn't get help, and at least you had your friend to kind of back you up. I guess you could barely walk, and getting you out from there, from the mountain, and that situation must have been pretty hectic.
I'm happy it happened to me, not to him, because I think I would have freaked out more if it was him than me. I kind of switched to not beast mode, but like survival mode, like there is no, I'm tired, there is like, just see the end, where are we going, what do we do, what do we need to do? And yeah, I think I'm lucky enough to be able to like be super focused when I really need to be. So yeah, as I told you, I don't really remember any pain or anything, or even being scared. I was like, okay, need to make it to the shelter. This was my goal. I was like, make it to the shelter. From the shelter, we'll figure it out. Like we'll find a solution, and it will be warm. It will be like. So yeah, this was my main thing.
Yeah, you think like getting to that point, you think it's something that has been like passed on in the family, like that kind of resilience? It feels like you felt pretty like there was a natural kind of like a reaction of like, okay, I need to get to safety. I have support. They might come rescue me. I'm getting over this, and
Let's say I saw my dad quite often and like injured, you know. So I'm like, I guess it was. We're not scared of like a little broken something in the family. This is for sure. But I also had trained, you know, like. I think there is something, and this is a similarity to surfing. There is a lot of person going backcountry or even going like for 2-3 days, like kind of trip in the mountain, far away from everything, or surfing Nazare, but had no fucking idea how to rescue someone. They have no idea. Like the best surfer in the world, some of the best surfer in the world cannot do a CPR. Nobody, like when Andrew said, and to me it makes sense, you know, everybody was like, oh, we need something to shock people, and I'm like, no, we don't. We need to be able to do CPR. And Andrew said no, because Cody is an actual lifeguard. He said no, we need tourniquets, because what's going to happen one day is nobody's going to drown here because everybody's an athlete, but somebody might get cut. And everybody was like, what do you mean a tourniquet? What is a tourniquet? And you're like, yo, you know, this is bad. And it's a bit the same. It's really hard to find a crew to ski with at home. It's as hard as finding a tow partner in Nazare, I think, because I have criteria, you know. I don't want to go with somebody that doesn't know what to do if shit goes down. And I trained really hard. I trained really hard with my friends. I didn't ski with like hundreds of different people in my life. I ski with a solid like 6 or 7 person, you know, max. I never go in big group, always like tight crew, because it's easier and safer. And I just think people need to be a bit more aware that it's so fun, but it can get so shit so quickly. And yeah, the worst thing that ever happened to me, like as not the person injured, is one of my clients like slice his arm like this with the edge of his ski, just removing the skins, not even skiing, just like removing the skiing, forcing, and just like cut really badly, hold his arm up to there. And I was like, he was bleeding so hard, you know. I was like, wow, this is real, you know. And it was nothing. And this rang the bell. And I was quite young when it happened, and I was like, whoa. Hopefully we are almost on the ski resort area, so the ski patrol are here in like 5 minutes top. I'm like, yo, where do you come from? You know, like they just arrive, they just manifest so quickly. They took care of everything. And I was like, okay, if this happened, but I'm not like literally half a mile away from the slopes, what do I do, you know? So no, I always have in my bag, my ski bag, a little pharmacy. Even if I'm going on the slope, you never know. Somebody get cut really badly around here, or you know, where there is like a big archer. It goes fast, or just in the neck, you know, it goes super fast. So you need to be able to compress, maybe to put to do a tourniquet and stuff like this, and to know what to do a recess.
Yeah, the importance. I think that's probably one of the most important kind of factors.
We met in Morocco. If shit goes down in Safi, what happens? You know, like.
Yeah, and it has already. Obviously, the Billy Kemper's wipeout was almost like lethal, was lethal, and it happened. Everything happened so fast, and.
But Billy Kemper is Billy Kemper, so you know they kind of flew him all around the world to save him. But if you're just a random dude, you know.
Yeah.
You need, you know, like if somebody knows to do some stuff, he might save you. If you go, it might save you, and just small thing. I'm not talking about like doing an open heart surgery on the beach. You know, I'm just talking about compressing a wound that can be quite deep, or just doing a CPR. Yeah, and it's basically just pressing really hard on somebody's ribs. It's a bit impressive, but doesn't take much skills to do it. You know.
I think that factor is definitely really important and should be taken into consideration in any sport, and definitely in extreme sports where things can happen very fast and in sometimes the most unexpected times. And yeah, like I think it's a really good point, and I'm definitely gonna take that on board, and also share this kind of point of view, and that we have to be prepared, and not just for our friend but for ourselves.
Yeah, for anyone. And it's I think it's the thing I constantly on and on about, but I'm like, any civilians should be able to, so it's something we should learn at school, really, you know, like as teenager, like how young adults. It's something for me, it's more important than like lots of the thing you learn at school, really. And even if you're in this environment, yeah, everybody should be able to perform minimum of rescue technique. And I'm talking also the photographer and everybody that's not in the water, because the guys all end up washing on the beach. So if you're here on the beach hanging out and you can do something, it's amazing, you know, it's just amazing. Just amazing. It never happened, and we are so fortunate it doesn't happen. But if one day happened, I'm sure everybody would be gutted. If it's just a big one that becomes something big, you know. So
for sure, definitely. Yeah.
Better be safe than sorry. Is it what you say in English? Yeah. Better be safe than sorry.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, and it's probably like a must in our generation, in my generation, and also in schools, in foundations, associations, wherever it is, it should be included and taken into consideration for sure. And
I love a beach cleaning. I'm all about a beach cleaning, but like a safety day. There is a French dude called Victor Davier. I don't really know him. He's a snowboarder, and he does what he calls the safety shred days, and it's amazing. It's like on 2 days or 3 days in La Rosière, I think it was last time, and basically you can just come to practice your safety skills, and he's the only person I know that does that
in the world. And you probably
only person I know. I'm like, I don't know thousands of person, but I know quite a bunch of person. But I often hear about a beach cleaning or let's clean under the ski lift, but it's the only dude I know that actually organize this thing. It's quite big and it's so good. And I think
in the sea.
No, in the mountain.
In the mountains.
Yeah, he's a snowboarder. So yeah. Safety shred days is super interesting, and everybody welcome. You know, no matter your skills, you can be almost beginner on ski or a professional backcountry skier. There's gonna be something for you. And I think this dude is amazing, you know, like.
Yeah. No, for sure, it should be done in any situation, any sport, and obviously you've been through some experiences that have been tough, and how has that like kind of made you aware of your capabilities and your resilience? How far can you actually push yourself coming back from that situation? Was it scary to go back to the mountains, or?
Let's say this accident had been had a massive impact on my life. I used to paraglide a lot, for instance, do a lot of paragliding, and to climb quite often, you know, doing some glacier and high mountain thing in the summer. But I was also all the time telling about it's changed so much. Like the summer are way warmer, way more unstable, and there is a lot of accidents. So, you know, I was kind of like saying, we are playing with fire, we know it, but we are still doing it. And I had this accident, and this day, the temperature was all right, the forecast was all right, everything was in the green, you know, to go. And it happened, and it kind of made me like Like, do I love climbing in the summer so hard that I could relive this situation? I was like, no, actually, no. I did it for years, but you have to live with your time, you know. I don't know how to explain, but I'm like, every summer it's warmer. Every summer it's warmer and colder and warmer and colder. You know, and there's a lot of like cracks, like the glacier are more open. There's a lot of serac falling. There's like it's moving. You know, we like global warming is happening. It doesn't happen. You don't feel it here. You feel it there, up there. It changed like drastically. So it kind of like I'm like, okay, put back the crampon in the garage. I'll do something else. And it's a bit like same thing for paragliding. I did love paragliding, but I was a bit scared to have an accident because it happens really fast. And usually when you have a paragliding accident, you break your back or you die. You know, this is like the kind of two options you have. So I kind of like put the glider in the garage, put the crampons in the garage. I hadn't been mountaineering in the summer ever since, and I'm really happy not to do it. But it didn't change my love for the skiing and the snowboarding. I just do it differently now, and I'm almost 35 and I'm learning a new skill right now. So I'm just like, it's all right, you know. My surfing career hasn't peaked yet.
That's amazing. Yeah, I think obviously things can happen at unexpected times, but also sometimes they happen for a sometimes good reason or bad reason, and they can have consequences, serious consequences. But you have led into surfing now, and obviously you still have your passion for the snow, and I think it's kind of not similar, but you can kind of like put in pieces of what you've gathered from snowboarding and skiing into surfing, I guess. No, what do you think?
Like, I'm not even gonna say big wave, because I'm not even sure I'm surfing big wave, but surfing Nazare with towing Nazare is like, it's like snowboarding. Like, it's so similar. And for me, it's way harder to paddle a 2-foot wave on a beach break than to tow a 10-foot wave in Nazare or a 15-foot wave. Like, no brainer, like everybody will say. Because I know what it is to have like a board tied to your foot, and I know to go fast. This is basically like the two main difference, and also heavy equipment. So yeah, and draw big lines. You know, this is more my flow. You know, like doing big curve and stuff. When it's 2 foot a bit fast, I'm like, so fast, so hard. Where do I go? Where do I position? You know, like so complicated. So yeah, there's tons of similarities. But believe me or not, I am so scared of getting a wave on the head here. But like, so scared. Even if I know that I'm not gonna drown, right? But it's just, I don't know, it's just so scary. And sometimes it's too, you know, it feels like it's too much, like a lot of water moving, you know, it's just like, wow, you know, it's really hard to describe, but yeah, sometimes I'm just on the jet ski and like, I'm so anxious, and I'm like, oh my God. Don't fall, you know.
I guess you get those goosebumps as well. I mean, everyone's scared in the water in those days, and even if it's not so big, anything can happen. Jet ski can go over, or you pull into the wave the wrong way and it gets you in the head, no?
That's the problem with me, because I'm a cook, but I surf like some quite heavy wave, but I have no idea, right? So and Andrew quite like said it yesterday or 2 days ago. he's like, I think I might have like towed Justine in like heavy barrels without realizing that she doesn't know what to do in case it goes south. So last year I almost got lipped here, but it was so heavy. It was super heavy, and I didn't know what to do. I was like, oh my god, the whole section fell in front of me, and I'm like, I'm just gonna do that instead of putting in or jumping from my board. I just did that, and the lip ended on the, like I could feel it on my leg. I was like, oh my god, this was like so bad. I was like, if I got nailed by this wave, I probably had broken my knee or something, you know, because it was so heavy. And then he was yelling at me. I was like, yo, I don't know what to do, you know, like I just don't know, because we are talking last year, and I got my first barrel, 2-foot barrel this summer. So, you know, I'm like, amazing. I'm like, you know, doing all the things the wrong way. You know, I start with like the final, you know, like the end game kind of, but I don't know how to do the basic thing. So, yeah, some of the experience 3 years ago were a bit overwhelming for me. Now I have more. I think I have more, not experience, but I kind of know more, and I spend so much hours spotting for these guys, so I kind of like learned a lot with everybody else's mistake or success.
Yeah, their success, and also being around Andrew and the people he's surrounded by that have been in this world of big waves, and not just big waves, but the ocean, the culture, coming from different places of the world, Hawaiians, Tahitians, and their capabilities, their knowledge on the ocean. I guess you can just kind of like soak it in, no?
I'm just a sponge already, and yes, it's just like, it's classic, you know, like honestly, and this is no bullshit. When I was younger, I was fan of J.P. Auclair, who was a skier, died also in Patagonia, and Garrett McNamara. This is no bullshit. And I remember vividly the day where he got the first world record. Oh, they served the biggest Nazare, the first time ever, 15 years or 14 years ago. I was sitting on the telly. I was like, wow, this is so sick. This guy is a legend. You know, I was like on and on and on. Yesterday morning, Garrett was towing me in Nazare. And last year, Garrett was towing me in Hawaii, you know, like in Oahu at his home, on his like little like reef behind his house. And I was like, what were the chances, you know, of this to happen? 2 weeks ago, where we met in Safi, I was on a surf trip with Lucas Chumbo. This is so completely like, you know, Cody, Lucas Fink, Garrett popped around, Axie was there, like Nacho Gonzalez, only big names, you know, like, and I just like, the crew was 10 people. I was like, all right, that's so cool, you know, like, it's just amazing.
Yeah, well, the connection, I guess, the ocean brings us all together. I think that's really special, like getting connected with other people, and obviously making relationships, and just the communication, the simplicity of it has really like brought surfing to, I guess, to this level. And yeah, coming from the snow and the mountains, what would you feel like the ocean brings to you? Is it similar, like in terms of energy and also fear, I guess, but also the good things that it has brought to you in your life?
So I don't think there is anything like waking up in a shelter somewhere in the mountain and looking at a sunrise in like somewhere far away, in like freezing cold temperature. It's something really special, but yeah, like being in like I love the water. I love the sea life also. I love, like, you know, like I'm freaking out if there is like a dolphin, just like I'm like, all the lineup has to know there's a dolphin just there, and everybody's like, yeah, his name is Robert, we see him all the time, and you're like, yeah, but it's so special, you know, like it is so special. I love the ocean. I'm just and I think this thing is a never-ending kind of like learning process, because every wave is different. Every, you know, like there's so much to learn, and I'm just so lucky to, yeah, to be like to have Cody to tow me around whenever I want. Sometimes Garrett's here, Will Scudding, all these guys, you know, have feedback, and yeah, just like, it's crazy, you know, it's so great, it's so cool. I don't know if I'll ever, you know, surf a really big wave. I don't even know if it's my goal. I think my goal is to just to surf, you know, like to have a good technique. This is like, because going straight down a big mama, I saw it 1,000 times. Doesn't really, I'd rather go down like a black slope on a snowboard. It's really bumpy, you know. At the end of the day, I can do that at home. It's fine, and don't have to get like a big wave on the head if it goes down. But yeah, just like, yeah, I just want to surf better. I just want to put like, yeah, keep on putting time into it, and just cruising with all these guys and chicks, you know, like I'm so happy. Girls like Justine, Maya, Michelle, there's 3 girls, you know, there is like 3 solid girls that are here all the time. They train really hard. Some people will say, you know, like, oh yeah, but they don't have the same, you know, they don't have the same skills surfing wise, and yeah, they don't, you know. Justine is different. She's somewhere up there. But no matter what, they are here all winter long, and they're training really hard, and I'm just like, I'm so impressed, you know. I was in the water this morning, Michelle was driving, and I'm like, this is so cool. I don't know if I ever gonna be good at driving, you know, just good at driving, or able to drive even on a smaller day. And Michelle was here like driving, like, so confident. Justine also is driving Lucas Jumbo sometime, and it's like, yo, you are the best female big wave surfer, and you're towing the best like surfer, big wave surfer of the world. So funny. And Maya is a beast on a jet ski. I think she's the best driver, but men and women included, you know, like she's one of the, I put her in my top 5, like solid, like she's so solid. It's so crazy, and I love looking at that. And I love being the friend of Justine. I love, you know, like having the opportunity to be in the water with Maya sometime, paddling, you know, just down the road, talking like about haircut and nails with Michelle. You know, it's just so good, you know, it's just so great, you know.
Yeah, they're really inspirational, not only in surfing world, but I think pushing the limits, no? You're always trying to push the limits, not only for yourself, but world records. Nazare has probably some of the biggest records and in the surfing career, I guess. And I really can identify you being here and connecting with these athletes that are just out of this world. They're really putting a lot of work, and it's not as easy as it looks. I guess it's being more respected, and it's amazing. You coming from a different sport, you really appreciate that and you respect that. So
I just love on the whole normal, you know, like it's so normal. We had like the funniest week in Morocco with Lucas Fink and Chumbo. It was like so funny. We were just funny, you know, like we're just like a, I don't know, like an adult camp kind of thing. And yeah, same thing. Like with Justine, we just hang out. We don't do anything much, we just hang out. It's just great, you know. They're just like superhuman, but like doing normal shit person do. But on the other hand, they spend so much time training in the water, like lots of skis, ended up on the beach, lot of fucked up, lot of close call, lot of boards, lot of everything, but they're still here. You know, everybody could just be like somewhere in Hawaii or Tahiti and just wait, you know, and just like get some good wave in the sun. But no, everybody's here, big wetsuit, knowing that no matter how good you are, your ski might go on the beach, and more than once, you know, like just, and they're here, you know, still here, and it's so, yeah, it's good. It's good to see. I love it.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for taking part in this project. I'm really happy that you could participate and share a little bit of your story. And yeah, what do you think is next for you, and what's the future you see in?
As I said, I don't know. I'm just getting more like, yeah, getting more wave, getting more confident. Surfing in, also I would like to surf in Blanc. I would like to have one wave in Blanc before being too cold. I would, yeah, this is my sort of like this winter goal: surfing better, get some wave in different places, keep on paddling, keep on progressing my paddle surf, because I'm really bad at that. And in the long range, I'm dreaming about driving the jet ski good, you know, and to be able to be an asset in the water. Because at the minute, I'm just like, I'm not an asset. I can't do shit but surfing. I can't rescue anyone, can't drive anyone. So yeah, I feel like
maybe you can save someone if you're in the beach. And
yeah, but as a surfing team, I'm really like useless, and it's like, it's okay, but I would like it to change. But on the big day, they can count on me. I'm here with my bino and my radio, and I do my best, you know.
Amazing.
To support them. Thank you so much for having me.
Wow, amazing. Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
And we'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Bye.